Praise the Lord. This is the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Here it is, Pastor Joseph and Brother Osama Doc Duke here in the studio with us. Praise God. Glad you're here again, brother.
Thank you.
Hey, we've got a series of, about 10 programs in this, right?
I believe so.
10 programs in lies in our textbooks here in the United States of America. Lies specifically pertaining to the religion of Islam and how it presents itself, and how, as not just it presents itself, but how our secular institutions, public educational institutions, present the religion of Islam, present issues like Israel and Palestine, highly political issues, and religious issues in our textbooks using our tax dollars to do so. And so we've been looking at different issues. Today, the title of our program, Lies in Our Textbooks, lies about the history of Islam.
We are actually rewriting the history of Islam. I love the beauty how Muslims always, when you talk about history, there is always the new history.
Yeah.
Have nothing to do with the early history. I remember I was in Egypt maybe a good 9 years ago or so, and I took my wife to the library, the Library of Alexandria.
Right.
And in the front of the Library of Alexandria, they have a document material written, one in Arabic, next one in English. By the way, the Arabic does not match the English, period.
Yeah.
I mean, the light is there. But in the English side, and I asked my wife, I asked her if she can take a picture of it, and she did.
Yeah.
In the English, they said the Library of Alexandria was burned by some of the enemy of Egypt.
Yes.
And the Muslims try hard, still there, go, those who are in Egypt, go and see it, unless somebody moved it.
Yeah.
But they said the Muslims try hard to stop the fire from taking over the library. Many of the Muslims lost their life to save the library, but they could not.
Yeah.
Because the fire was severe.
Well, that makes sense, because Muslims love literature and
yeah, absolutely, they love. But if you know the true history, of the burning of the great library, the Library of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders.
Yeah.
Literally, we have the pyramids and the library in Egypt.
Yeah.
You will see that Muslims burn the Library of Alexandria. They actually went to Omar and say, "Oh, Prince Omar, these books in the library belong to the people of the book. There is a holy scripture." He said, here's what he said: "If it is true, we have it in the Quran. If it is false, burn it anyway." So in either way, Omar gives the order to burn the manuscript, which I guarantee you, there were thousands of them in this library. The Christian Bible manuscripts were burned by the hand of the Muslim. And now they tell us the history about the burning of the Library of Alexandria by telling us, oh, some of the enemies of Egypt.
Yeah, yeah. Real quick point. You know, the Muslims have a penchant for burning scriptures, you know.
Start with Usman.
well, I guess it started with Umar. Umar, before Uthman, he burns the Bible in Alexandria.
You're talking about our books. I'm talking their own books.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like they want to burn the whole thing.
Yeah, because he loved knowledge.
You know why he decided to do that, Uthman?
Yeah.
I got it figured out.
Yeah.
In Surah 3, verse 84, you know, it says, "We believe in all of the prophets and what has been revealed to them, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Yaqub, and there it says Moses and Jesus. And we do not discriminate from anyone."
Yeah.
So I think Uthman, he's tried to become a good Muslim.
Yeah.
So Umar, he went and he burned the Bible. So Uthman, he read Quran 384. He said, we have to burn Quran as well.
Since we burn the Bible, we might as well burn
We cannot
the Quran.
discriminate. Burn the whole thing.
We treat everybody the same. Everybody the same. Well, anyway.
God help us.
I know. Now we're going to look together at lies in textbooks about the history of Islam. Let's see what Muslims want your children and your grandchildren to learn about the history of Islam. For example, in the next textbooks, as we always do, we have been in our study, we give you the name of the book, the publisher, the year, and the page number of the material, and the lie, and then we will respond to it. Go ahead.
World History, Patterns of Interaction, McDougall-Little, 2007, page 270. The persecuted people often welcomed the Muslim invaders and chose to accept Islam. They were attracted by the appeal of the message of Islam, which offered equality and hope in this world.
I mean, I can't help it. Literally, when I read this first time, Pastor Joseph, I was looking for somebody to give me some food, bad food, so I can eat and I can throw up, so I can feel better. Because actually, I wish there is medicine, but I was literally willing to look for some bad food so I can throw up, so I can feel better.
It offers equality and hope in this world.
I mean, can you imagine? That's what they're teaching our children. And when Islam came to Egypt, the Egyptians were just dancing in the street,
Yeah.
Pastor Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
They welcome.
Sure.
Can Muslim give me a name of a country? This is as simple as that. If you're going to teach this propaganda, hogwash Islam about Islam history in our public school, please give me a name of a country welcomed Muslim. Show me anywhere in the Quran or in the Hadith, Muhammad teaching, Allah's teaching the Quran, Muhammad teaching in the Hadith. Show me anything that to show me how that Islam is attractive. I mean, how can you draw somebody to believe in this attractive cult, the cult of Islam?
Well, take Khaybar. Did they welcome Muhammad in Khaybar?
Yep.
They poisoned him.
Yeah.
You know, they killed him.
But Pastor Joseph, this is what our children are going to hear and learn about the history of Islam.
Sure.
The message of Islam was so beautiful. I mean, people literally throw Christianity in the trash can, throw Judaism in the trash can, and they just dance and jump and welcome Islam. The message of Islam. What message, people? Are you belittling us, Christians who live in America? Maybe you need to kill all the Christians who live in America who knows the true message of the Bible, who knows the true message of Islam, so you can teach this propaganda. And it's amazing that they will put this trash in our public schools, but they will not allow somebody like me to go speak in our public school.
Yeah. Oh, no.
We've been already kicked twice, one in
Ohio.
and the other one in Minnesota. And praise God, we won both lawsuits.
Yeah.
And we spoke in Ohio, and next week, actually 2 weeks from now, I will be speaking in Minnesota, just
Praise
to tell
God.
the people of Minnesota in our public school there, what your children are learning is propaganda, hogwash. I mean, where is the quality?
Yeah.
Quality and hope in Islam?
Equality and hope. It kind of
What?
sounds like Obama.
Yeah, exactly.
Hope
yes.
and change.
Hope and change. So here's my challenge to you, my dear Muslim friends, who want to put this trash in our public schools, to squeeze it into the heart and the mind and the soul of our children in our public school in America. Prove it. Give me the name of the chapter. Give me the number of the verse so we can see it. You cannot talk about the history of Islam without using the Quran, without using the Hadith, because that is the reality of Islam. And it's sick. It's sick, Pastor Joseph, to see this taught to our children. Here we go. Let's go to a quick response. Go ahead.
Muslim invaders were often feared, not welcome because of well-known massacres and oppression of non-Muslims.
I want to see this, Pastor Joseph, in our public school. You want to talk about history of Islam? Teach me about how they were massacring cities, literally killing all the male, raping the women and the children. America, are you watching what's happening right now in Nigeria? Are you watching what's happening in the Middle East? This is not new. I know the liberal media in this country are trying to tell you that's radical Islam. I'm sorry. That's what Muhammad did. That's what Allah commands a Muslim to do in the Quran.
Right.
So we're not making this up. I'm getting sick and tired from Americans to use the word radical Islam, radical Islam. There's no such a thing as radical Islam. Unless you believe Allah was radical and Muhammad was radical and the early Imams were radical and all Muslims in the last 1400 years were radical. If that's the case, then yes, this is radical Islam.
The radical Muslim is the liberal. I mean, really, right? Yeah.
That's what it is. Move on. Point number 2.
This passage incorrectly implies that Christianity did not offer equality and hope.
Well, this is the reality, Pastor Joseph. Egyptian, 600 years after Christ, were all Christian. The whole entire country were Christian now. Now, 600 years after Christ, Christianity spread all over Egypt, and the textbooks is still our children. When Islam came to Egypt, the Egyptian welcomed it, they loved it, they jumped on it, okay, because of the offering of the hope and equality. But wait a minute, are you trying to tell me that Christians did not have equality? They don't have hope? What hope and quality is in Islam which was not already in Christianity? As a matter of fact, there is no hope or quality at all in Islam. There's no equality in Islam at all. Now, next point.
The Arab conquerors massacred the entire Christian population in Nicayu in 640 AD as part of their invasion of Egypt.
These Muslims who left Saudi Arabia and they came to Egypt, and we can go to every almost other city in the 57 Muslim countries around the world. These Muslims did not come with the Quran. They never translated the Quran to any of the language of the countries they invaded.
Right.
They come with the sword, and they killed and take over the city. Some cities, as this one here, or if you go to Khaybar, you go to Bani Qurayza, and there are many in Muhammad days and after Muhammad died. They literally, what they did is they go to one city, kill all the men. Sometimes they kill all men and women and children, but sometimes they kill all the men to make a point to the rest of the near cities. If you will not surrender, if you will not submit to Islam, we'll do the same to you. It was an object lesson. If you don't believe me, go check the next town. There's nobody there. They're all gone.
Well, maybe the hope in this world is the hope that the Muslims won't massacre them if they welcome them.
Yeah,
maybe that's what they meant.
Absolutely. Move on with the next point, Pastor Joseph.
The population was forced to pay jizya or tribute. How's that equality?
I don't know.
Well, that's kind of like Obama, spread the wealth.
Take it from the rich, give it to the poor.
Take it from non-Muslims, give it to Muslims.
We're gonna go to Egypt, take it from the Christian and give it to the Muslims to be the masters in the land.
Right.
Is this equality of life?
As a matter of fact, I understand from studying Islamic history that after a while, most of these Muslim invaders did not want the people to convert to Islam because they want the money from the jizya.
Absolutely.
They want them to be dhimmi. They don't want them to convert.
And it is good to abuse people.
Yeah.
It is when you have the hate and the running in your veins. It is always good to see somebody to control.
Yeah.
You don't want to make equality between you and them.
Right.
If they become Muslim, actually, it gives them more joy.
Right.
It gives him, as Allah said in the Quran, heals the chest of the believing. When a Muslim revenge, his chest get healed. Like he received joy out of it. Now, the next point is very important, Pastor Joseph, and I say why. Because here we see that a great evidence that the people of Egypt did not jump into this beautiful, loving, peaceful religion, that the Egyptian, after 100 years of being abused, they rebel. Go ahead, read it for our
Coptic Christians rose in rebellion in 725 AD.
Why? Here's the question. Why is a Christian in Egypt rebel in the year 725? Is they really love Islam and they were living in joy and happiness under this new hope and new equality of life? Can anybody answer this for me? I mean, these people were persecuted for 100 years and they hated that they light out of their life because of the Muslims, and they rebelled. So what are you going to do? You already killed our ancestor. Go ahead, kill the rest of us. That was this rebellion was all about. Another point?
The notion that the population welcomed the Arab Muslims is nonsense.
That's what it is. Nonsense. They may teach this to our students, to our children, to our grandchildren in our public school. But I'm sorry. It's nonsense because there is no any evidence of it. There's no any proof of it from the history. And the Quran does not teach it. And Muhammad never taught it in the hadith. I don't know. How can you come up with this? This is not a small lie. This is a huge lie. But they're taking advantage of the ignorancy of the American about the history of Islam and just say it with a smile on their face.
Dr. Andrew Bostrom has written a scholarly work, and I ask our viewers to forgive me. I have to get the title maybe in our next show. But his work that was written in the last, say, 5-6 years was specifically to debunk this myth. And he highlights the areas where Muslims went and took over and who they killed, who they massacred, how they did it. And the whole point is to take the historical sources and say, look, they didn't go and just preach and everybody accepted Islam. They went in, they killed, they raped, they pillaged time after time after time.
And this is a result of Allah's teaching in the Quran.
It's exactly what they're supposed to do.
Allah did not tell the Muslims that Christian are people.
Yeah.
Allah did not tell the Muslims Jewish are people. But actually Allah make us, you know what? Why not read the next verse? Let the people know what Allah think of the infidels from the words of Allah in the Quran. I don't have to tell you what Allah said about you Americans. Let Allah tell you himself. Go for it.
Surah 98 verse 6, surely those who became infidels from the people of the book and polytheists will abide in the fire of hell forever. They are the worst of the creatures.
We are the worst of the creatures.
Because and we are people of the book, Christians and Jews, to let everyone know.
That is the people of the book. We're going to have another topic about what the lies about the people of the books. And man, they will make it like literally the people of the book, as you hear it in America. Oh, the people of the book, Christian and Jews and Muslims are just one people.
We love the people of the book.
We love the people of the book. Hear what Allah said in the people of the book, America. You are the worst of the creatures.
Yes.
I mean, Not the worst of the people, the worst of the animals, the worst of the fish, the worst of anything Allah ever created. And that's why we will burn in hell for a long time or a short time.
Forever, according to Islam.
Forever. So that's the reality about what Muslims believe about us. How about Quran chapter 8, verses 22 and 23? Go ahead, Pastor Joseph.
Surely the worst creatures before Allah are the deaf, the dumb, those who do not understand. And if Allah knew of any good in them, He would have made them hear. And if He had made them hear, they would still have turned away and withdrawn.
You know, I love how Muhammad made so many boo-boos all over the Quran, but that's one of the dumb boo-boos he ever made. Because obviously he did not read the Bible.
Yeah.
Every person who is deaf or dumb is the worst of the creature, like the people of the book.
Right.
You know, did Jesus ever heal any of these people?
Jesus healed.
And what happened to the guy who could not hear and he could not speak when he cast demons out of him and he started speaking? What the first thing he did? What he praised
the Lord.
So Allah, the God of Muhammad, Satan, does not know, or maybe forgot about the people which Jesus healed, and they were good in them.
Yeah.
This is a great evidence that the foolishness of the Quran is just foolishness. The worst creature are the people of the book. The worst creature are the deaf, those who cannot hear, who cannot speak.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
And when the disciples asked Jesus, whose sin? Was this guy's sin or his parents? He said, no. That the glory of God will come out of this mess.
Amen.
So there is glory even in the people who have whatever sickness, whatever disease. God did not create them to be like that because He's so cruel, God, and He was just makes them the worst of the creature to take them from earth to burn them in hell forever, as Muhammad taught in the Quran. No. God loves everyone, even those who have sickness. As we see in the Quran, Allah calls them the worst of the creature. I'm sorry. That is nonsense at all.
Real quick question. So if you're in Saudi Arabia or Afghanistan and you're deaf or dumb, how do you think your chances fare for getting a job or, you know?
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, right.
Good luck. I mean,
in other words, you're unclean. You're not accepted in society. You need,
step aside, maybe they'll kill you or something.
Yeah.
But, we're talking about equality. And in the next verse is literally going to shock some of our audience, because I don't think even Muslims understand the interpretation or the meaning of what about to read. They lie in our textbooks about the history of Islam by saying that Islam offers equality. Islam offers hope. Do you know that in Islam, according to the teaching of the Quran, as we're going to read in a minute here, there is not equality between Muslims and Muslims. It's not. It is not in Allah's word. It is not in Muhammad's teaching. Listen carefully to the words of Quran chapter 2, verse 178, and then I'll give you a quick interpretation. You and I promise you, what you're going to hear me saying fit perfectly with the words of the Quran. This is one of the verses which Muslims will not even bother to interpret. Here is Allah's word. Quran 2, 178.
O you who have believed, retaliation is decreed on you for the murdered, the free man for the free, and the slave for the slave, and the female for the female.
What do we learn here, America? That in Islam, men are not equal to slave, are not equal to women. Is that what they mean by that? Imagine here, I am a free man and Pastor Joseph a free man, and somehow I killed one of your slaves, and I'm a free man.
Okay.
Can you kill me for the slave?
No.
What do?
Kill your slave.
Kill equal to your slave.
Right.
You don't get an older one or younger one, same age.
Yeah.
If I killed your wife, whom do you kill?
Your wife.
My wife.
Yeah.
Man, this is the quality of life.
I won't do that.
But that's the teaching of the Quran. If one of my slave, my slave or my wife killed you and you're a free man, whom your family will kill?
Right. Well, no. This is exactly what you're saying. The man is the free man is the highest. Really, the slave is next, and the woman is last.
The woman is certain. We're going to be talking about lies about women in our live show coming up. But this is the reality. Yeah. This is the reality of Islam. There is not equality of life in Islam, period. Yeah. Not even between Muslims and Muslims. And people always ask me, Pastor Joseph, why in the world the Sunni blow up a Shia mosque in Iraq or in Syria? I said, wait a minute. You have not heard the news yesterday?
Yeah.
What? The Shia blew up a Sunni mosque. Well, but there was a guy blew up a mosque. Why is he retaliate by bombing a mosque with 50 or 300 people in it. I said, that's what it is. Retaliation is decreed for the Muslim. Allah's word said they have the right to revenge. They have the right to retaliate. And that is Islam.
The Sunni killed the Shia killed the Sunni, and the Sunni and the Shia killed the Christians.
Absolutely. The beauty of Islam, the religion of pieces.
Pieces, yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Move on with another lie in our textbooks. Obviously, this come on page 218. Go ahead, Pastor Joseph.
World History, Thomson Wadsworth, 2004, page 218. The chapter on Africa tells how Arab forces invaded and controlled Egypt. Then it says in the next paragraph, the Arab conquerors were probably welcomed by many, if not the majority of the local inhabitants.
Now, I wonder if people who put this have any common sense.
Yeah.
Because this is what I call oxymoron. When you put the word conquerors, and next to it you put they welcome, probably they welcome. He said they welcome, actually,
probably
the majority.
By many.
If
not the majority.
If not the majority. Many or majority.
He's hedging.
Does our teacher read this material before they teach it to our students?
I don't know. I mean, this is like one of those that the Muslims said, this is what you need to say, this is what you need to say. I don't know if that's quite right. This is what you need to say. Well, okay, many, if not the majority of the local inhabitants.
But can you imagine with me, Pastor Joseph, when you read it in textbooks that many or majority or a few welcome the conquerors?
No, it's
that's
ridiculous.
That's an oxymoron talk.
But and look as well, the Arab conquerors. Why didn't they say the Muslim conquerors?
Because they want to clean it up.
Well, there again, you know, when they talk about the Crusades, are they going to talk about the Gaulish Crusaders or the British Crusaders or the Italian Crusaders? No, they're going to say the Christian Crusaders.
Yes.
But when it comes to Muslim jihad, oh, the Arab conquerors.
Well, maybe it make it sound like it's a history. Some of the Arab were Jews, some of the Arab were Christians. But you know what? I have a very important...
the Arab Jews were with Ummah doing the jihad.
Yes, Allah Akbar, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But next statement here is very important. Why? Because I'm going to learn about the Arabs from Al-Tabari.
Now tell us who that is and what that means to us.
Al-Tabari is a great Muslim scholar.
Yeah.
He is one of the great scholars who interpreted the entire Quran for the Muslim people. Muslim people believe the interpretation of Al-Tabari is like me and you believing in the teaching of Matthew or Mark or Luke or John in the Gospel.
So this is a tafsir.
Tafsir, the interpretation.
A commentary.
He's a commentary guy. So when Al-Tabari say it, Muslim cannot say, well, he really did not say it. You know, no.
Yeah.
We know for sure he said it. There is no disagreement about he said it. Listen carefully to what Al-Tabari said about Arabs and the relationship with us, Americans, or anyone who's not a Muslim in general. Go ahead.
All right. Tabari 969. Arabs are the most noble people in lineage, and by the way, I'm half Arab, the most prominent and the best in deeds. We were the first to respond to the call of the Prophet. We are Allah's helpers and the viziers of his messenger. We engage in war with people until they believe in Allah. He who believes in Allah and his messenger has protected his life and possessions from us. As for one who disbelieves, we will engage in war with him forever in the cause of Allah. Killing him is a small matter to us.
First of all, I don't believe this statement is true. Why? Quran chapter 49 verse 10, if I recall it exactly, maybe I'm off one verse or two. Allah told Muhammad to tell the Arab that they're not believers. He said the Arabs or the Bedouins said we believed. Allah said, do not say we believe, but say we surrendered or we submit. And if you ask the reason why, it's written there, because faith never entered your heart. They saw the sword of Muhammad and his followers, the first few hundreds, and they submit.
Yeah.
They surrender. So Arab are not the first one who believed. Arab are the first one who surrendered. Not my word. Go to the Quran and read Allah's word. Now, the statements there, we engage in war, is very important because that is the heart of Islam. Until people believe in Allah. Listen, America, this is a message to you. If you have not learned anything yet, listen carefully. Because they said, we will engage in war with you forever. You know what forever means what? It means forever. It's not until Obama killed bin Laden and lied to the American people and said Al-Qaeda on the run. No, Al-Qaeda is not on the run. Yeah, they may be running to get other countries or running to higher offices in other lands, but that's what they're running for. Not running from Obama, I promise you. They may run from me, but they're not going to run from Obama, but that's okay. So they will engage with us forever. And the only way for you Americans, listen carefully, the only way you protect your wives, your children, your possessions is to accept Islam. Yeah. Why is that? Because Al-Tabari, the great Muslim scholar, is telling us, killing you is a small matter. This is the reality of Islam. You have to accept Islam, you have to say the Shahada, or we will kill you.
We love death more than you love life.
Absolutely.
And Brother Osama, real quickly, can you just tell the people, back that last slide, appeasement. We're all trying to appease the Muslims, and look at this. What is appeasement going to do?
It will bring Islam to take over a country.
More.
Or
they will attack us more.
They will attack us more, or kill us.
Yeah.
Get rid of us completely.
Yeah.
Next important lie here, because we run out of time, Pastor Joseph.
World Geography, McDougall Little, 2005, page 75. The religion Islam has close ties to the prophets and teachers of Judaism and Christianity.
Really?
Yeah. That's what the Muslims tell us.
Well, I understand that. And I encourage you, my dear listeners, to get my book. I'm not just advertised for my book, but Exposing the Truth About the Quran, the Revelation of Error. There are 2 chapters. The first one is about creation. The last chapter is about Muhammad. Now, there's 41 chapters. The 39 chapters in the middle are literally, every chapter is given to one of the names of the prophets, which Muslim does, which they have ties with us, about the prophets. Start from Prophet Adam, as Muhammad claimed, and end with Prophet Jesus. And then Muhammad is the last chapter. 830 pages. I promise you, when you read these 830 pages, you will find that the Quran or Islam not only does not have any ties to the teaching and the prophecies and the prophets of the Bible, every one of these account of the biblical account, Muhammad took and destroyed. He literally add error and takes too many facts out of it. The Noah of Muhammad have nothing to do with the Noah of the Bible. The Adam of Muhammad have nothing to do with Adam of the Bible. The Moses of Muhammad have nothing to do with the Moses of the Bible. And the rest of every prophet in the Quran have nothing to do with any of the prophets in the Bible. This is a fact. It took us quite some years to put this book together. But for Muslims to claim that since the Quran talk about Adam and Moses and Noah and Jesus and Abraham and David, that mean worship the same God. No, we don't. Because none of the prophets in the Bible have anything to do with the prophets of the Quran. Last piece we have here, Pastor Joseph.
None of the true accounts of the prophets of the Bible or the teachers of Judaism or Christianity have anything to do with the made-up stories found in the Quran.
And it's very simple. Just go. Read the Quran. If you don't want to get my new book, that's fine. Read the Quran. Read the Bible and tell me, where is the ties between the teachers and the prophets of the Bible and the Quran? Where is the tie between the message of the Bible and the Quran? There's no ties whatsoever. But that is a small lie squeezed in our textbooks for your children, for your grandchildren, by your tax money to make Americans, the new generation, to believe there's not too many differences between the Bible and the Quran, between Islam and Christianity. We have the same history, we have the same teaching, we have the same beliefs.
Yeah, the Muslims like to go to Joseph because that's probably the closest one they have of the account to
and by the way, in our new book, we have 57 errors in just this one chapter, chapter 12. And these errors are not easy. I mean, let me show a quick one here. In the Bible, Joseph Mama died in chapter 34 in the book of Genesis. Muhammad did not read chapter 34. He actually started from chapter 36, the beginning of the story of Joseph. If I got the chapters right. Right. In the end of Joseph, his mama and his baba were put in a high place in Egypt. Joseph's mama has been dead for 30-some years. I don't know how he brought her back to life and put her in the high throne. I mean, errors cannot be fixed, cannot be reconciled.
I'd like to see that, and I know our viewers would as well. All right, so we've finished this topic then.
Yes, indeed.
Very good. Well, thank you, Brother Osama. Thank you all for watching here, the Trinity Channel, trinitychannel.com. That's www.trinitychannel.com. Also, of course, Brother Osama's website, which you've been seeing on the bottom of the screen, www.thestraightway.org. Trinity Channel, an affiliate of ABN, please pray for us, and if the Lord moves your heart, please do give so more quality Christian apologetic, evangelical, and polemical programs can be produced like no other in the world right here at your favorite channel, the trinitychannel.com. God bless you, and we'll see you.